I guess we're back up.
They might have to reset, refresh, or.
Yeah, sorry guys. If you need to refresh or whatever.
Yeah. Use some scope.
Yeah, we're back.
All
right. Can you see us?
I can see.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. And the speed looks a little bit better.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah. It's still choppy, but what the hell? I mean, we got a lot of storms here, folks.
It's been,
and I think it's affecting our. The internet is great, but it's still got a lot of flaws to it. I mean, this is one of them.
No.
I think the problem is everything we're doing here is being intercepted by the NSA and their backlog. So it takes them a while to review what we're passing through.
Before they send it out.
The NSA is monitoring, I guess.
Yeah, it's the mafia.
Oh, okay.
So, I would say that. I would say da myself.
Very
The only thing is, of course, it's going to be on lag.
Interesting.
Anyway, so a lot going on.
Whole lot.
What the hell's going on? Oh.
Yeah, our upload speed is garbage. We're not even getting 1 meg of upload at all. And so if it don't get better by later, you probably have to call them up.
Yeah, well, we got to find out what the hell's going on.
Fix their shit.
Definitely.
But go ahead.
I do have some news. Some local news says the Bibb County Bibb shelter will stay quarantined.
Good.
Yes, the dogs at the Bibb County Animal Shelter will stay under quarantine all the way through Thursday today. Shelter Director Sarah Tenen tells WJXA that the state inspectors checked the shelter Tuesday and wants the animals restricted to a limited area for at least another day. Yeah. The latest parvo concern at the shelter The latest parvo concern at the shelter came to light after local community activist Irving Martinez, Morning Roast Zone, adopted a dog from the shelter. Yes. Adopted a dog from the shelter last week, which died shortly afterward.
Yeah, really shortly after.
Parvo was suspected in that case.
Yeah. That's it?
Yes.
That's great. So they're open till today? Or they're going to open today?
Possibly. Till the end of maybe. Well, they're going to be quarantined. Stay quarantined through Thursday.
Oh, through Thursday.
So they may be open tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick Cow, I was talking to a friend of mine up in Waterbury, Connecticut last night, and they said they needed rain, so I sent you some rain for today. But we don't need it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can adopt on Friday, Nick Hal, if you're in the hood. We got another good story coming up.
A really good story. Retired teacher busted for growing pot.
Shit, I wish I would have known him before he got busted.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, retired Jones County educator is out of jail on bond facing drug charges. Captain Guy Musteller of the Jones County Sheriff's Office tells us that 59-year-old Yvonne Jean Appling is charged with violation of Georgia's Controlled Substance Act, cultivation of marijuana.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
yes.
really.
Musteller says Appling was taken into custody after drug investigators discovered 29 marijuana plants of various heights growing on his property on Juliet last week.
Wow.
Appling is currently out of jail on bond, waiting for a court hearing as we speak.
Well, do you know how they find this stuff? You see, he had one too many, all right? What they're doing now is those helicopters, those police helicopters, they have these heat sensors that they can sense something in the plant, either the THC or some bullshit.
No, it's the grow lights. The lights.
Oh.
The lights they use to grow the shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they're tanking?
Yeah, because I know somebody who grows it, and he has a special, I don't know, it's like 12 by 12 by 12 cube that's like got a lead sheet so it blocks out it's thermogram is what thermographic.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Heat.
Okay.
Live and learn. So, yeah, that's too bad. I'm sure that the police are going to take the marijuana plant and they're going to dry them up
and smoke them
and keep them. Yeah. Why not? I'm sure. Listen,
what the guy said.
I wouldn't
Legalize
put it
it.
past him. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. I'm sorry to say. I hate to talk about so-called officers of the court or whatever you call them, but you know, I've seen one too many of these issues going on. Somebody even, this one store owner in particular told me that they went in and busted up a whole bunch of guys carrying marijuana baggies, and the police officer grabbed one of the baggies and threw it at the owner. He says, "Here, for any business that you may have lost during this time." Did you believe it?
Wow.
It just happened.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, by the way, Michelle, I do hate Walmart myself. I think they're overplayed. They're too freaking big. They don't know how to set their stuff up properly so that, you know, you walk from one thing to the other. There's any kind of symmetry or synergy between them. And it's like, if you want bread, you got to go on this side. And if you want something else, you got to go the hell over there. And
oh, yeah.
ridiculous.
Don't even get me started on that. Yesterday I went to get a few groceries here and there over at Walmart, and they were like still under construction in certain areas, and I was trying to leave, and they said, "No, you got to go around," or something like this, and I thought they had the other exit open that's like locked. It's like, wait a minute, like, look, how am I supposed to get out of here when you have the doors locked? And I was trying to go through the other exit, you know, and then one of the construction was said, "No, just go through the produce." And then go around, then go to the main exit. It's like,
And
oh,
squeeze
geez.
the oranges on your way out.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Well, I didn't get a chance. I was just trying to get out to avoid the rain. But
Unfreaking believable. I mean, Walmart sucks, and
they're trying to put in these new. They got these new self-scanning.
Yeah,
cash registers now.
Kroger's did that shit
yeah.
how many years ago already?
Yeah, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
They were trying to do the exact same thing. They were trying to get it. I think they put in some new ones and stuff that's like improved. So
Yeah, they had to lay off some of those Bangladeshi clothing makers in order to have enough money to do that, I guess.
Well,
Some of that slave labor they have in the other countries.
Well, they didn't. They didn't have to do it that much because remember those people died. In that
Oh yeah, that's right. Half of them are gone. Yeah, they burnt up, right? Yeah,
But
all that slave labor.
Yeah, speaking from cannabis to cannibalism.
Oh.
Yes, there's this from Inquisitor.com. A cannibal who allegedly hacked a homeless man to death in December 2011 has been found not guilty of murder.
Yeah.
Tyree Lincoln Smith, age 35, was branded a cannibal following the brutal death of a homeless man in Connecticut, Angel Gonzalez. Smith allegedly murdered Gonzalez and ate his eye and brain. The decomposed body was later found on the 3rd floor of an abandoned building where the man had been squatting, Smith's former home. Smith was suspected in the murder of the homeless man after relatives came forward describing how he had been seen covered in blood.
Wow. According
to an affidavit, Smith's hands and clothing were bloody and he had a hatchet in his possession, reports the CT Post. The cannibal killer allegedly told his cousin who testified in court how he murdered the homeless man in order to satiate his craving, hacking away at the man's face and head until the victim died. Smith collected the eyeball and brain and fled to a nearby cemetery where he devoured them, describing the eye as tasting like an oyster, according to the Daily Mail.
I thought it tastes like chicken.
Yeah, they got this picture of a hatchet with a bloody stool. I mean, they couldn't come up with the picture of the guy.
I guess it wasn't.
I mean, come on. You know,
I guess it wasn't
trivializing.
I guess it wasn't
death.
too tasty.
Yeah.
What was the guy's name
And
again?
I like what Graybeard said.
Yeah.
Guilty of poor taste.
Yeah,
What was the guy's name again?
the guy's name is Tyree Lincoln Smith.
That's the guy. They ate the body parts of Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes.
I guess it's like that bee sting play. Yeah, a lot more tasty.
Yeah, more tasty.
Those Mexicans.
Mexican, you guys,
Hold on, man.
you know.
But,
I'm just fooling with you, boy.
by the way, I have somebody.
I hate to say this, Derek, but
What?
Yeah.
man.
What the hell? Anyway,
we break
I
it
got
up
the
again.
picture.
we got it all, folks. We got stories on cannibalism, and we have stories on what is it? The foot orgasm, right? What other stories do we have, Derek?
Oh, man.
that are in line with that craziness.
I got a wing
There
ding
it is.
dinger for you. Ooh.
Huh? Okay.
The picture?
Not up yet. Now we froze.
Okay. It's a.
Yeah,
I got
Derek, go like
another
this. Damn, man, you guys could be related.
Ooh.
You ain't gonna eat my eyeballs, are you?
No,
Damn.
man.
Just
Alright.
let me take them out first.
No, man.
Nicole says homeless people
I bought
taste
some
like blue
chicken.
cheese.
It tastes like blue cheese. Ew.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't like blue cheese. Now, I don't like green stuff or whatever that mold is in the blue cheese.
Oh shit, it hasn't even gotten through there yet.
Anyway,
So
read
it's
that
time-
story. What's the wing dang doodle story that we got for today?
Yeah, talking about cannibalism. Well, I guess the opposite side.
Yeah.
In Dedham, Massachusetts, Li Rong Zhang, Massachusetts woman, charged with killing her 8-year-old son by lighting a hibachi-style charcoal grill inside a bedroom in their apartment, then barricading the door, has been found not guilty by reason of insanity.
There's the guy. You see
Oh,
that?
here's the guy that ate up
The cannibal.
Yeah, well, you had to keep
homeless
some of
guy's
that weight
eyeball
on.
and brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember they said when they see a bald guy with a goatee, you know,
Unbelievable.
on the Buster mug, they
Mhm.
say it looks like me. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Looks like
He
Moses.
looks hungry.
Look at that. Look at those beady
Are
eyes.
you eyeballing me? Anyway.
My God.
Can you hear this Mick fart?
Holy
Yes.
crap. All right.
But as
Well,
I said, Li Rong Zhang was found not guilty by reason of insanity and son's hibachi-style grill death.
yeah.
A Norfolk Superior Judge recently acquitted Li Rong Zhang in the murder in the January 2011 death of Brandon Yang. Authorities say that the 42-year-old Quincy woman intended to kill herself and her son. They say she blocked the door and lit the grill, filling the room with poisonous fumes. The boy died of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Carbon.
His mother, found by another family member, survived. Multiple medical experts testified that the mother lacked criminal responsibility at the time and exhibited psychotic depression with paranoid delusions and was suicidal.
Wow.
So she was acquitted for killing her son with a hibachi grill.
You got the story I sent you about the guy that got sentenced for the murder that had already served for another murder? I think I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Let me double check that.
Well, what the hell?
Yeah, they let him out. He did his time. They let him out. He killed somebody else.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
Well,
You gotta be kidding me.
anyway, hibachi
It's
death.
right on the front page of MAZ, too.
I hope she used the big one.
Okay.
Cause you ever seen some of those hibachis? They're about that big.
Oh,
she would have
yeah.
had to cook his head and then
I'm surprised.
chop him up.
I'm surprised she didn't burn the house down because of that, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, who's that guy with the open nose there? What the hell is that all about?
Well, I guess it's inmate information about Alfred Kenan Moore.
Yeah.
He had charges of burglary, impersonating a police officer, possession of weapon during a common community felony, armed robbery, aggravated assault, and false imprisonment. Is that the guy?
Is that the guy? Yeah.
Oh, the picture I sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one impersonating a police officer?
Yeah.
That's the guy they caught for impersonating a police officer.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
That's actually his jail listing.
Mm.
Yeah, well. He's got the look of a police officer with that badass attitude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that.
That will do it.
All right. What else is in the news, Derek? I got some other stuff if you want some local shit. Let's see. There was one where...
about the fallen state trooper, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that one. Fallen state trooper remembered in making for his sacrifice. You know, here's the thing about all this. You know, biblically, God says, "I desire mercy, not sacrifice." So I hope this whole,
Okay.
his life wasn't in vain. You know, sacrifice is good, but it's not the end with all. It's really more about mercy, being merciful.
Mm-hmm.
Is more desirable than sacrifice. But in any case, in honor of the state trooper, we're going to read a story. The first Georgia state trooper ever killed in the line of duty was remembered in Macon Wednesday for his service. This is half a century ago or more. State and local officials paid tribute to the Macon native Sergeant William Frederick Black, Jr., who was killed more than 73 years ago while on the job. I bet you this guy was not a black guy.
No, he was a white guy.
Yeah,
I saw
exactly.
the picture.
I figured that. Yeah, I'm sure of it. I'm sure he was one of the guys that was, one of the guys like beating up on the black people here. Who the hell knows? But he's gonna get, his accolades.
The words of Irv Martinez are his.
Anyway, and many years of roadway interchange sign now honor the fallen trooper. It's a great honor. I don't think it's late. It's never too late. Sergeant Black's second cousin Glenn Mitchell said. Mitchell was a 9-year-old when Black was shot and killed on December 20th, 1940 during a routine traffic stop in the North Georgia stretch of US 41 in Ringgold. Black and his partner Vas Farr, that's a weird name, was pulled over a 28-year-old Charles Clinton Coates, who was an escaped convict driving a stolen car. When Black approached the car, he was fatally shot and died on the way to the hospital in Chattanooga. For us, it's not only a dedication of his service, sacrifice, but it's a reminder to the public that our employees, that every day they put their lives on the line. Georgia State Patrol Colonel Mark McDonough said, before unveiling the sign, state and local officials, including our wonderful racist governor Nathan Deal, paid tribute to the late Sergeant Black earlier in the Grand Opera House. Hopefully those who travel that roadway and see the sign will be reminded of the sacrifice of those who try to keep us safe and give us tickets for no goddamn reason. The Macon Bibb Fire Department recognized Black's sacrifice by hanging a flag from their ladders on the Spring Street Bridge. Mm-hmm. The motorcade passed under it on the way to the sign unveiling. Now the sign stands on I-16 at the overpass of Okmulgee East Boulevard. As for Mitchell, he's still trying to express his emotions and gratitude for this day. I don't know if I can tell you in words. It's just a marvelous celebration. I'm just pleased to be part of it. After the unveiling, a wreath was laid in Sergeant Black's grave in Riverside Cemetery. 3 more troopers killed in the same line of duty are expected to be honored with the sign by August around Southwest Georgia. There you have it, folks.
Oh, there you go.
State Trooper Patrol Sergeant William Frederick Black, Jr., honored for his service 73 years ago. 73 years ago. Mm-hmm. I guess yesterday.
Yes.
All right. What else is in
there?
Yeah,
the story that it was talking about. There was the man involved in Pulaski murder-suicide.
Yeah.
Basically also killed his wife. The GBI Wednesday said investigators believe that 67-year-old Jesse Edge shot and killed 32-year-old Misty Lee Oliver, then turned the gun on himself. The two were found dead last Friday at Edge's waterfront home in Pulaski County on Riverview Drive. Records reveal Edge was previously convicted of a killing. In July 1990, Edge shot and killed his 30-year-old wife, Thompson Edge, at the home they shared in Perry. Edge was initially charged with murdering his wife, but was convicted of voluntary manslaughter. He was in jail from February 1991 until his release on parole in May of 2004. Sometime after that, Edge moved to Pulaski County, and the GBI says it's unclear what the exact relationship was between Edge and Miss Oliver.
Wow. Okay. There you go. Murder-suicide, also killed his wife.
Yeah, so he basically killed his wife and then killing himself.
Wow. Ridiculous. All right, we got some good news, all right? Making mother-daughter improving after the weekend accident. We told the story yesterday, the Walt Halls, who are the big oil, owner of Big Oil, and also some gas stations that they have. The Walt Hall gas station. There aren't that many, but they're quite.
Yeah, they're quite.
They're making some money.
Plenty enough, yeah.
I don't think they have Indian owners either that overcharge you in tax like they like to do. By the way, folks, any of these places you go to, make sure that they're charging you the right taxes, because a lot of times, you get so bum rushing in and out of stores, and they throw in an extra dime here and there. By the end of the day, they got an extra $100 in the, which they don't claim. You know, that bullshit's been going on for a long time, but nobody's aware of it because everybody's in such a rush and a fuss to get the hell out of these stores because they're, they're just unsightly, some of them. You want in and out, give me a pack of cigarettes, hurry up. Watch how much they charge you, because a lot of times they overcharge you on tax. That's a new, well, it's not new, but it's definitely going on rampantly. Good news coming from the family of making mother and daughter seriously injured in the crash I-16 last weekend, just one day after brain surgery and being on a ventilator. Allison Walthall was able to walk with a walker Tuesday and was able to talk with her mom, Libby. Libby was able to have a first meaningful conversation with family members on Monday. Neither remembers the accident. Libby is still confused times, and both remain in the hospital as of Tuesday night. There you have it. Hopefully they'll get better. These women they're great members of our society who really love animals, and they do a lot of good stuff.
Right.
For our community. So I'm glad to hear they're doing better. Thank God. There's other news going on.
Yes. Also, I have something about the Peach County Emergency Room. I hope you don't get sick anytime Tuesday, next Tuesday, especially in Peach County, because the Peach County Emergency Room plans to close for 6 hours on Tuesday. According to release, the closure allows the Peach Regional Medical Center to transition to their new hospital, the Medical Center of Peach County. The ER will be closed from 6 a.m. until noon on Tuesday, July the 16th, 2013. Next week. If you need emergency care, then you're asked to call 911 or report to another nearest emergency center. The new hospital is located or will be located at 1960-1960 Highway 247 connector in Byron.
Yeah.
So those who lived in the Peach County area, that's where the emergency room will be closed for 6 hours.
Yeah, so anybody that has an emergency, you better find your freaking route somewhere else. Because if not, you already wait about 10 hours in an emergency room on average. Thank you, Obamacare.
Yeah. Maybe
that'll be eliminated, but who the hell knows? Anyway, you got to wait a long time. I know I waited over 10 hours when I went in. And it's very stressful.
Yeah.
Very stressful. Especially when you got a person there that's nuts walking around trying to talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
You have that all the time. Why is that?
Search me, man. Search me.
Yeah. Anyway, also, I did want to update everybody on the local news regarding our police chief. Of course, those of you that know what's going on here in Macon, Georgia, we had the big June bug incident during the time when Anthony was here. Anthony, myself, and Derek and Ed were involved in that whole nonsense with the police officers shooting Junebug.
Right.
Well, that Chief Burns that we talked about, and who was the chief of police, he retired. And they gave him a big send-off. And they said, and by the way, I did run into him during the time that I found out my little dog had parvo on the same day. I run into Chief Burns. And he had his 3 dogs with him and his wife, and he looked as happy as a pig in shit. Because he's now retired. Anyway, friends, family, and former co-workers filled Macon City Hall Tuesday to say goodbye to former Chief Mike Burns, Police Chief Mike Burns, in a special retirement ceremony. Thank you for your leadership, Chief Burns. Led us with honor. He led us with courage, and he led us with integrity. Bullshit. I'm sorry to say.
Said Chief Mike Carswell said.
Well, I love Mr. Carswell, but that's bullshit. Okay? There was no integrity. These people have been hiding a lot of shit for years, and they still are. They still are anyway. Burns joined the force in 1974 and was the first Macon police chief to have worked his way up the ranks in 30 years. After 39 years on the force, as chief, Burns 8 as chief, 8 years. Chief Burns tells WGXA that he has a lot to be proud of. I am happy that we got our national accreditation back, and that was lost under the previous administration. We were able to keep it. And the crime. We compared my 8.5 years as chief to the previous 8.5. We had 22,000 less number of crimes, which that's 22,000 people that were not victims compared to the previous 8.5 years. Burns says that he plans to spend his first leg of retirement doing projects around the house. He says he's had several offers and opportunities that he may look into. When asked if any of those involved seeking a political office, Burns had his response. I think you can tell from my time as chief, I'm not a politician. Burns was originally appointed by then Jack Ellis. See, Jack Ellis, who we had on the show, by the way.
Yes.
His official retirement date was May 31st. Burns didn't comment on his previous health issues, but says he is healthy and doing just fine. There you have it. Chief Burns. And let me just say this. He was very, very, very cordial. Very nice when he saw me. He was, aren't you Irving and Martina? Yeah. Why the hell would you be asking me that question how many times have we met in the party? How many times did I come up and we hugged? How many times did I say hello to you and your wife? And you're going to come now and say, aren't you Irving Martinez? This is the kind of bullshit that goes on here, folks. They shake your hand, but they're not even acknowledging your existence. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. He actually asked me that question. Aren't you Irving Martinez?
Well, this has been, aren't you that short New Yorker with the big mouth?
Rick, are you going to ask me that question? You met me like 10 times. In parties and on the street, you would say hello to me. And I was in your face about the Sammy Junebug thing, and yet you're going to ask me, aren't you Irving Martinez? This is how dismissive these people are. How the hell are you going to forget me? How dare you? I'm insulted. But happy retirement.
Maybe he chose to.
What the hell?
Well, yeah.
Like I say, easier than him.
Yeah,
Better him saying
exactly.
nothing than saying, hey, aren't you that short New Yorker with the big mouth?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So what about it?
They can't stand the shit out of me because I get in people's face. And yet, here I am. I said hello to this guy, so help me God, over 10 times. And yet he's going to ask me, aren't you Irving Martinez? How the... You know who the hell I am. Don't give me that. How many people are in this freaking town that look like me?
That's kind of messed up, man. Hydroponic. When your little dog you just had here had parvo, why you here?
They didn't ask me shit. He just, happy with his dogs. All his dogs were jumping around. They were all cute. They were cute. I don't blame the dogs. And his wife gave me a dirty look, of course. She was avoiding saying hello because she knew exactly who the hell I was.
Yes.
But then he asked me, aren't you Martina?
She had that evil look. So how evil was it? Like she's just been audited look, or
no? Like when somebody doesn't like you because you're either black or Puerto Rican or something. I mean that's the only thing I can compare it to. Or if they just don't like you because of who you are.
Diaz photo guy says, "I wonder if they stripped him of his cop stash." I think they let him. I think they let it go as a parting gift. I guess. Who knows?
Good morning,
what do you know?
And
what do you know? It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock
shit,
right now.
already.
Yes, 9 o'clock right now.
We didn't even get through to anything.
Well, we got a whole bunch of stories. We got a whole lot more, especially the update on the Steve McDaniel suspect. Yes, we have some more stories, including the update of the Lauren Giddings case with the murder suspect, Stephen McDaniel. Right now, it's 9 o'clock right now in Macon, Georgia. Eastern Daylight Savings Time is 73 degrees, very cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms and showers later in the afternoon with a high of 88 and low of 72. You're watching The Morning Roast live from the Nut House / Doghouse in downtown Macon, Georgia.
We'll be right back.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Tamika Alexander.
And I'm Daniel Sparkman.
We start tonight with a Tuscaloosa County teacher facing rape and incest charges.
WVUA's Victoria Sheehan has been following this case today. And Victoria, we have learned through the internet that she worked at Maxwell Elementary.
Yes, that's what we believe at this point. Nessa Ferguson has a biography on the school's website that says she lives in Duncanville with her husband and 3 children. But on July 3rd, she was arrested and charged with rape in the 2nd degree, sodomy in the 2nd degree, sexual abuse in the 1st degree, and incest. According to court documents, a Tuscaloosa County grand jury indicted Ferguson on engaging in sexual intercourse, deviant sexual intercourse, and sexual contact by forcible compulsion with a member of the opposite sex between the ages of 12 and 16. The court did not release the victim's name or whether or not there was more than one victim. According to the documents, incest is described as sexual intercourse with a victim who the defendant knew to be related either by blood, adoption, or marriage. Ferguson was booked with a $25,000 bond and was released from jail Wednesday. Now, her arraignment hearing is set for September 6th. Now, I did go to Ferguson's home to speak with her about the charges. Unfortunately, she declined to comment without her lawyer present.
All right, of course, we'll keep everybody up to date on this and be there at her arraignment.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks, Victoria.
If you thought you were the only one who has a love-hate relationship with Honey Boo Boo, you can rest easy because even celebrities have their guilty TV pleasures. Hey guys, I'm Christina Bear with Buzz60. When Johnny Depp isn't donning a pirate costume or pretending to be Tonto, the 50-year-old father of 2 admits to Rolling Stone magazine that he watches the trashiest television imaginable. Specifically, the Thompson family antics on the hit TLC show.
Well, my belly hurts, it's usually gas or too many chicken nuggets.
He told Extra TV he could be called a fan of Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, saying, "I'm a little frightened of the show. That's the thing. They're probably great people, but there are bits that happen that I'm mesmerized by." Do you think he meant mesmerized or sickened?
You get underneath the bedroll, Mom. Get underneath it.
Either way, Johnny isn't alone, and there's a reason why the show is still on the air, proving no one is safe from the Honey Boo Boo experience. Buzz60. Now you know, pass it on.
Aaron Burnett out front, weeknights at 7, only on CNN.
His attorneys approach the end of their defense of George Zimmerman, and work goes on, building a case for peace. Sanford area pastors observe the trial from the courtroom, watching the evidence and reporting back to their congregations in hopes of managing reactions to a potentially unpopular verdict.
We have to accept the verdict and go forward.
Pastor Sharon Patterson's message to her small congregation is to keep talking with family and friends and keep actions within the law. Are people going to listen to you?
I cannot say everyone will listen.
It's an unknown that concerns every pastor I talk to. Reverend Charlie Holt, St. Peter's Episcopal, is just a couple of miles from where Trayvon Martin was killed.
There's speculation that there will be more demonstrations.
Do you think there's a potential for violence?
I don't know. I don't think it would come from the people of this community.
Opinions shared by city officials. Law enforcement outside Sanford isn't taking any chances. 200 miles away, the Broward County Sheriff put out this video.
Raise your voice and not your hand.
Targeting youth, the video encourages nonviolence.
Let's get violence arrest.
Our young minds don't think the same way as the older minds.
Sanford pastor Loman Oliver says the peaceful protests of a year ago brought about Zimmerman's arrest and a new African-American police chief to Sanford. But emotions still run high among young people identified with Trayvon Martin.
The belief that a certain individual, teenager, was being profiled because of what he had on and how he looked, and he wound up dead.
Painful memories that some fear will not diminish whether or not George Zimmerman goes free, and Sanford braces for a verdict.
David, I know you're talking about Sanford bracing. You know, there's been talk around the country of whether the verdict, whether it goes one way or the other, that people are worried about potential violence. What is the scenario that officials are most worried about in Sanford?
Well, in Sanford, so much work has been done over the last year. It is not the same mood. It is not the same political environment that we saw a year ago. They're worried that there might be influences from people outside the area coming in to do some kind of harm and cause some kind of trouble. There's been particular interest in the actions of gangs, not just here, but throughout South Florida. The fear is that possibly one of those gangs might try to get some notoriety by causing some trouble. So there's been a tremendous outreach, not just in Sanford, but in other places as well, to try to diffuse anything that might be lurking as this verdict comes up.
And we are back. We are back into the second hour of the Morning Roast. You're watching it with Irv, Ed, and DB right here. It's 9:06 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Macon, Georgia, with a high of, it's 73 degrees with a high of 88 and a low of 72. It's cloudy with a definite chance of thunderstorms and showers later in the day, if not sometime in the afternoon.
Yeah, well,
a lot of crazy.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff. We got to be careful with these ads because we just had Honey Boo Boo on, and I guess that's against the law here or whatever. So we'll be careful.
Yeah, I know, but we don't need to be kept reminded of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yes.
Well, they're only reminding you because of they're trying to be helpful.
Yeah, trying to be helpful. Which.
Yeah, I don't want to end up like Vorpal Bite.
Yeah.
That's true. Plus, speaking of which brings back to the news story that was one of the videos that Ed talked about. There was this woman, Anessa Dawn Olive Ferguson. She was an Alabama kindergarten teacher. As if those who weren't able to get the video, she was arrested earlier this month on charges stemming from alleged inappropriate sexual conduct with a minor. Tuscaloosa grand jury indicted Miss Ferguson recently this last week because she was accused. She was 37 years old, a mother of three. She was accused of rape, sodomy, sexual abuse, and incest on a boy between the ages of 12 and 16. 12 and 16 years old. She was booked on a $25,000 bond, and she was released though. But she's due in court for arraignment September 16th. Why she was released? I mean, my goodness, if they have the, if they have the evidence.
Well,
they let that guy that shot the lady at the gas station out on bond.
Mm-hmm.
They let Zimmerman out on bond.
Well, yeah.
They let people out on bond.
Yeah, but the guy in the wheelchair, I can understand like where he's gonna do run. I mean, he's a freaking wheelchair. Just take the battery out of his wheelchair. He's gonna be.
Could have got one of those Acme rockets.
Yeah. Well, I think she's out on bond probably because they, may be all circumstantial. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like what happened with Zimmerman. Mm-hmm. Although, first of all, they didn't arrest him right away, which was an uproar. That's why.
And even more so, the officers, they really dropped the ball because they didn't take his weapon for evidence, but that's why they couldn't find any prints or blood.
I got a video. I didn't play it. I'll just give you the scenario of it. It's about the police chief, and they didn't arrest him because by the evidence they got at the scene and everything, they didn't have enough proof to arrest him. But they had heat coming down on him, so then they arrested him.
Yeah.
And of course, he bonded out.
Yeah.
But
anyway, no, there is no verdict yet, Mr. Mike. The verdict will happen tomorrow, most likely.
Today's closing arguments.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they have closing arguments today. Tomorrow, they're going to have the opportunity to rebuttals, and then they should be able to hand it over to the jury. Hopefully, I think in the end, he's going to get something. Maybe even aggravated assault.
All-female jury? Yeah. I think so, yeah. They have one alternate jury member. He's the one guy. He's the alternate.
I don't know why we're still not on screen. We still got CNN on screen
we're
here.
on a lag.
We're in a lag. We've still got a 3-minute lag.
Talk about a lag and a half. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yes.
But I think, honestly, after looking, I look at this case every day. I see it both on my television, now that I have cable, and I look at it on my computer in the live stream. And I'm thinking, okay, well, if nothing else, they're going to give him aggravated assault. That would be the lowest that they can go. I don't think they're going to just drop it all because I think the jury, to be honest, knows that there's going to be all hell breaking loose.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to have more crimes committed if they come in with a not guilty verdict. Just like what happened with
LA PD during the first Rodney King trial.
Yeah, and with King, what's his name?
Rodney King, yeah.
Yeah, Rodney King. Do I think that's fair? No. But the reality is, that they made it seem like this kid was a thug out looking for trouble when in fact he was just trying to get home in the rain. And
which is really messed up because even though they tried to put the late Trayvon Martin's record on, try to rake it under the bus and stuff, which is really kind of sad because he's dead, he can't defend himself. But they never talked about Zimmerman's history. They never talked about his background history. Vorp, if you're listening, how he was an abusive guy and how he was, rejected by the police academy twice because obviously he couldn't follow orders. Hey, stay in your car. No, I want to kick butt. Whatever.
The other thing is, it was very well exposed that this guy was good at this police officer that they had there yesterday, who injected himself, saying, "Oh, I can help," and of course got $175 an hour to boot for his testimony. This guy basically was saying that Zimmerman couldn't fight. And, he said, basically he didn't have what it took to fight. And I think what in fact occurred was that Trayvon beat the shit out of him. And that this guy got up whenever he was able to get up and was so mad that he got beaten down with his machismo. I'm sorry to say this, but I feel it. He's got a little bit of Latino in him, and us Latinos don't like to get our ass kicked. And, he got his ass kicked, and he got mad and shot the kid. That's it. Plain and simple. The kid they beat the shit out of him, and he got, but he wasn't going to kill him.
Yeah, he wasn't going to kill him.
But he just beat the shit out of him, trying to maybe knock him out, because he was afraid.
Yeah, and you would too. I mean, truth be told, no matter how much the defense tried to make Zimmerman's case, well, he had a right to stand his ground. Guess what? Trayvon had the right to stand his ground as well. I mean, come on. If you're a teenager and there was a car driving real slow next to you and it doesn't have like a police siren or lights on top of it, no police, no sheriff's department, no security guard type decal on the car, not even neighborhood watch. I mean, you would be suspicious too. And then the person says, what are you doing here? Get in the car. Are you supposed to get in the car? No. Like I said before, that's how so many children and teenagers get kidnapped every day. In America, all throughout America.
Well, and but neither here or there. It's still a fact. This guy followed this kid. He probably instigated the fight. The kid beat the shit out of him. And he got mad and shot him. That's it. Plain and simple. Yeah. I mean, you don't need to go through this long-winded bullshit that they go through to try to justify why he shot this kid. He shot the kid because the kid kicked his ass. And he got mad.
And he wanted to flex his Smith & Wesson muscles anyway because he was there trying to watch, which he wasn't supposed to do because normally you're supposed to be unarmed. When you're doing neighborhood watch, hence the name neighborhood watch, not neighborhood blow a sucker away.
Right. Because he looks like a punk to you. Yes. Like he said, those effing punks or something like that. Yeah. They always get away with it. He had like a Vorpalbite mentality. That Vorpalbite doesn't mind shooting black people because he hates them. I think Vorpalbite hates black people. I think he hates them all. And I think because, you have some blacks that become Muslim, and he hates them even more. And meanwhile, Vorpalbite is not even a Christian. I mean, with some of the blab that he comes out with, if you are, you would have been real good in the crusade.
Well, speaking of another case, the suspect in Slade law student denies involvement. This is a local story. Here in Macon, a man accused of the death of a Mercer law student, Laura Giddings, has denied involvement in the case. A federal court filed yesterday that Stephen McDaniel refuted slaying 27-year-old Lauren Giddings or interfering with her burial, and police discovered Giddings' torso June 30th, 2011, in a garbage bin outside her Macon apartment building. The rest of her remains have not been found, unfortunately.
They never found her head
or the other part. They said the upper torso. They haven't found her legs or arms.
And this is weird because I got to go back to and talk to Mason, because he told me that they found some leg in his yard. I don't know why he would lie. He's not known for that.
Do you think it could have been Lauren Giddings? So that's the question, though.
Well,
that's the question.
That's a good question.
Yeah. See, Giddings' parents filed a wrongful death lawsuit against McDaniel on June 17th last month.
Yeah.
They seek more than $5 million and permission to search for their daughter's remains at a farm owned by McDaniel's grandfather. The lawsuit alleges McDaniel visited the farm the weekend before Giddings' death. A criminal trial is scheduled for January 6, 2014 in Bibb County's Superior Court. Motion hearings in the case begin September 16th, 2 months from now.
Yeah. Well, let me see. Trayvon's father had a criminal history too, but so do you, Vorba.
So did Zimmerman. Zimmerman had a criminal history too. He had a criminal history too, Vorba. So if you're gonna talk about Trayvon's in your talk about everybody's, okay?
Yeah. He had a criminal history, stupid ass. Anyway.
Which was another reason why Zimmerman couldn't get into the police academy also. Which makes actually, to be told,
part of it was bad credit.
That, and plus, I mean, he would have been a worse candidate for a police officer than Sutton. He makes Sutton look like doggone Jack Webb. I mean, truth be told,
and
except for the fact that he couldn't even follow orders anyway.
Yeah.
Stay in the car, George. No, I'm gonna get rid of this punk.
You ever notice what a double standard people live? I mean, here we are right now, just by looking at the chatters. The chatters have a problem if we bring up a racial issue, like, bringing up the N-word or anything else. But meanwhile, they can easily talk about homosexuals like it's garbage, like they're garbage. We got a lot of homophobes here. We got a lot of people that don't like homosexuals, and they'll be more than happy to tear them up, tear them down, because they're the least of society in their minds. And, you got to get over that stuff. It's called prejudice. Not racism. That's called prejudice. You're prejudiced against anybody that doesn't fit your lousy-ass standard. And I would hate to see how you live in reality. I mean, you know how I live. I cast right from my house. I have nothing to hide. Nothing. Half of you guys don't even have real names. You come on the show and you call yourself whatever. At least Michelle, I know her name. I know her name is Michelle.
Yeah.
But some of you guys come on with all these ridiculous names, and then you're the ones that are mostly like pontificating all this goody two-shoe shit. And then you turn around and start talking about making homophobic statements, and you're going off on each other. And what can I say? I mean, you guys are like double-minded. At least you know where I'm coming from. I shoot straight from the hip. You guys shoot from the hip, from the sphincter, and from your penises, and from your mouths, and your ears, and your nose, whatever makes you comfortable. You need to chill out. Think about it. Not everybody's perfect. Neither are you, neither am I, neither is Derek. Derek comes closer, but,
But it comes with a price.
Then again, it comes with a price. Exactly. No girlfriend.
Yeah.
These girls like these thugs. Low-riding thugs. But I'm serious. I mean, a lot of people like to make these terrible comments. And, he's a neo-Nazi. They like to make all these comments about homosexuals, blacks, and all that. Where the hell do you live? Mm-hmm. You got to live in some freaking hut somewhere in the middle of the woods in order to get away from these people. Then.
Yeah. I did have, well, speaking of the trial that you were talking about, it says, this is from ABC News, .go.com. It says, George Zimmerman tells judge he won't testify.
Yeah, he hates all people.
It says, after nearly 17 months, almost a year and a half from at the center of the highly charged case, George Zimmerman told a Florida judge that he would not testify at his murder trial. And the judge, Deborah Nelson, asked Mr. Zimmerman, "What is your decision, sir?" And he replied, "After consulting with counsel not to testify, Your Honor, the defense promptly rested its case."
There you
and
go.
Zimmerman, he is 29 years old, charged with second-degree murder for shooting Trayvon Martin age 17, on February 26, 2012. Zimmerman maintains that he shot Martin in self-defense. If convicted of second-degree murder, he could be sentenced to 25 years to life.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to be convicted second degree. If he is, I would be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I think he's going to be, I think they're going to go down to the lowest possible denominator here in terms of giving him any kind of punishment. It'll probably just be aggravated assault.
Yes, that's what that's what they said. Yeah, both sides sparred over what charges Zimmerman may face. The state wants him to face the possibility of being convicted of second-degree murder along with manslaughter and aggravated assault, but the defense objected. The judge is expected to hash out the range of charges the jury may consider with the lawyers on Thursday today.
There you go.
Personally, I think he should have gotten attempted abduction with coercion by force, but that's just me. I guess it's just grasping at straws.
Well, let's see.
In fact, I have the upload later after the show. I have to upload my latest thought to ponder, which I did yesterday. I just let the camera go because my editing equipment is not working. So excuse me if I stumble on a few words on my thought to ponder because I just had some trouble, trying to edit, and I just want to get my point across and just get it out the way. Yeah.
Anyway, hypoapneic, whatever. Hydro man, or Hydro girl. I had a big press conference about this. I'm sorry you missed out, but we've been talking about this. Hydroponic, got it. Hydroponic. We had a big issue. I had basically the place shut down, quarantined. It's still on for today. It was on the news today. We read it. And it was a horrible, traumatic experience for anybody that's never had an animal die in their house the way this poor little innocent animal did. I mean, it's very slow death and very, very bad on my nerves, I'm telling you. I mean, I'm already a nervous wreck, and now I have this little dog die on me. Of course, I felt guilty. Maybe I could have done more. Who the hell knows? But at this point, the dog was already way over, the past stage of any kind of cure. He was already done. Yeah. And so anyway, but I did have a press conference. You could look on my Facebook or on the Facebook page for The Morning Roast. You'll see the videos there. I did have a commissioner as well as a city council member and a couple of three actually people running for mayor behind me, and it was really cool. At least we got the word out, and of course they had the place quarantined, but the woman's still on, and now the next phase of this is we're going to go there during the time that she reports to the commissioners, and we're going to have some proof of her incompetence, and hopefully we'll be able to ambush that meeting and with some other people. We'll see. Anyway, moving on. What else do we have? Oh, Lord God. Yeah, you see, we got the greatest news when it comes to weird news. Here we go.
Yes, here's our 9:30 wing dang doodle of the day. Remember the story we were talking about, how this woman who had a loaded handgun concealed in her vagina when she was arrested earlier this year on a drug charge? Well, guess what? She has been sentenced for 25 years in state prison according to the court records. Wow.
There you go.
Wow. Christy Dawn Harris, age 28, was last week entered the no contest pleas to 3 felony counts during a hearing in the Pawtucket County District Court.
Wow.
Harris, whose rap sheet already includes multiple felony convictions, copped on June 27 to possession of methamphetamines with intent to distribute, gun possession, and bringing contraband into jail. Judge Stephen Kessinger sentenced her to serve 25 years on each count. With the penalties to run concurrently, he also ordered her to pay $1,363 in court costs and fees. Harris was arrested in March earlier this year after a drug dog alerted to a vehicle in which she and another woman were seated. The car was parked outside of a closed restaurant around 3:45 a.m. A subsequent search in the Toyota Yaris turned up meth, drug paraphernalia, a .25 caliber semi-automatic pistol, and a loaded magazine. While being transported to jail, Harris told a cop several times that she needed to go to the bathroom. And during the procession at the jail, Harris balked when directed to lower her underwear so that a female officer could check for contraband. She advised that she was on her period and did not want to, according to the cop's notes. And after she complied with the police, Officer Carrie Unbewusst reported, "I observed that time a wooden and metal item was sticking out of her vagina area." Unbewusst then pulled the item from her vagina, quote unquote, and found it to be a 5-shot revolver with rounds in the chamber. Fully loaded handgun.
Yeah.
Which was disassembled by cops, and investigators subsequently identified the weapon as a Freedom Arms .22 caliber handgun, which was loaded with 3 live rounds and 1 spent shell. The police report notes that the gun was located in suspect's vajayjay.
Wow. No, that is the vagina monologue, for sure.
Right there. Talking about shooting your stuff off right there.
Yeah, really. She's really hot for a gun.
Yeah.
Maybe Vorbabite could have given us some with his shotgun. Right, Vorbabite? That's all you can use because you probably can't even get it up anymore. Your fat ass sitting on a computer all day. Anyway, that's why you're anti-homosexual, because you can't even get it from them either. You're mad at them. You're mad that you can't get probed.
Ew, who wants to be probed?
Well, that's it.
That's like, who wants to be stabbed?
Oh, it's like, anyway, I want to welcome everybody. Let's go down the list here. We got all these folks here, and they're wonderful. They're all chiming in. Mr. Mike hasn't stopped. But you see that? Keep your sexual shit at home where it belongs. Exactly. Well, I don't want to hear about it either. No one cares. Well, not you. That's your opinion. Some people do care. Care enough to either hate it or love it. But I want to say hello to DS Photo Guy, Urbic Skillet,
ATT,
ATT, of course, Harry Beavers, Michelle Stacy, my dear girl. I wonder if she does that thing too. Nah, never mind. Mr. Mike, Nical 3000, Obama's cat is back. Rocco, too much. Vorbabite 2, Cocknose, Hydroponic, Mr. Bola is back. I haven't seen you in a bit. Ned Stark, of course, is always around. And Siggers, welcome back, Siggers. I think Siggers was here before.
Yeah, he's been in.
Yeah, he's been in and out. Or she.
Yeah.
And who else is here? Wait a minute, there may be one more, no? All right, well, welcome all. We're glad to have you here. And, yeah, you're right. I need to feel up Hypoponic. And I do, actually. We're really getting things done around here, somewhat. Derek is able to get a part in a play of being a dad, even though he's never been one, so he's going to have to really fake that one.
Fake that, yeah. Actually, it's not really a play, it's just a little commercial.
Oh, yeah, it's a commercial.
Yeah, it's going to be filmed in North Carolina.
Go hang out with DC and his 4 grandkids for about an hour. That's good training.
Hypoponic says, fill me up like I was your little turtle, or come here, little turtle.
Boy, a whole lot of judge and court stuff going on. I mean, the woman with the gun in there, and the Steve McDaniel and the Zimmerman.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's the new fad. Let's look at Judge Judy. I love Judge Judy. I wish Judge Judy was the president.
I like Judge Joe Brown myself.
Joe Brown is a little too laid back, and he likes to go off on people sometimes. I do too. Judge Joe Brown. Oh, by the way, speaking of stars, you know the woman that says, and he's Judge Joe Brown. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a friend of mine.
Oh, Rolanda. Right?
Rolanda Watts from New York City. And she was actually talking about, she was on what they call the Lion's Den Nancy Grace.
Mm-hmm.
She was on there a couple of times. So, yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Derek. What else is in the news?
Oh yes, in local news about federal judge rules on Bibb elections lawsuit. Says that Macon Bibb County elections are no longer in limbo now that a federal judge has ruled when voters can cast their ballot. Candidate for Macon Bibb County District for Commissioner Mallory Jones filed a lawsuit against the supervisor of the Bibb County Board of Elections, the board, and the Bibb County Commissioners over the election delay last month. Said Jones, it was filed because there was a lack of an election. We were in a state of chaos. We didn't know what kind of election we were going to have. We didn't know when it was going to happen, and we're sitting 6 months before the start of a new government. Jones says it wasn't a political move, but it was a move for the people. She added, says, you regret having to do something like that. It's the first lawsuit I've ever filed in my life, but it needed to be done. We needed to have some order and clarity to what we're going to have. Middle Georgia Federal Judge C. Ashley Royal filed the consent order Tuesday afternoon earlier this week. In the legal document, Jones' attorney A. Lee Parks and the plaintiff's lawyer Bibb County attorney Virgil Adams agreed to the following. Now, the ruling orders that elections will be held on September 17th.
Wow.
The runoff is scheduled for October 15th.
Yeah.
Said any candidates who are already qualified and wish to remain in the race do not need to re-qualify. If a candidate wants to withdraw, he or she must notify the Board of Elections by July 17th at 12 p.m. That's less than 6 days away.
Here we go.
Yes, at 12 p.m. noon. Qualifying will be held from July 22nd through July 24th at 12 p.m. noon.
There you
and
go.
Voter registration, those who haven't registered to vote yet here in the Middle Georgia area, voter registration ends on August 19th. Early voting is scheduled for Monday, August 26th through Friday, September 13th.
There you have it.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, we'll have the people speak.
Yes.
Finally. You know, it's funny because when they cut back on the Civil Rights Act of what is it? Civil
Voting Rights Act.
Yeah, the Voting Rights Act. When they cut back on that, right away, Megan was salivating. Oh shit, we're on our own now. We can invent our own rules.
Mm-hmm.
And at least that they're trying to do, you know, the right thing, making sure that our voting rights are protected.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, they haven't asked for like a shitload of stuff that they want you to do beforehand, like hand them paper that you're not an immigrant and all this other crap. So I'm kind of glad to hear that at least we're able to vote now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have some news with the governor, correct?
Correct.
All right, what's up with the governor deal? He's giving us a raw deal. This is a governor who some of the people that he hires are like these religious fanatical pieces of shit that talk all about, in just inserting their completely bogus way of looking at things. And, they're trying to inject the church and state issue. They try to inject the church into things. And look, I'm a Christian, but it's biblical. It says that the laws are given to the priest and the sword is given to the king. And the only thing that they're supposed to do is sit there and make sure that the laws are enforced. They don't have to come up with all of them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then when they do come up with them, they shouldn't be throwing in all this religion shit behind it to try to justify themselves. It needs to be fair to everybody, to both the atheists, the anarchists, and the religious. Mm-hmm. It needs to be fair to all. That's what America's about. It's not about one guy having more than the other. Mm-hmm. It's about everybody equal opportunity, right?
Right.
Equal justice.
Yes, I'll say one thing that's kind of equal, at least to a certain extent, at least in this area, is definitely some rain. Just want to point out that there's a flash flood warning for Bibb, Bleckley, Hancock counties, Jones County, and other surrounding counties within the area. Definitely Central Georgia and some parts of North Georgia. I guess pretty much throughout for the remainder of this week, just in case those who have to drive out of town like I do tomorrow. So yeah, definitely be careful. Definitely have your umbrellas ready because there will be, well, like I said, there's going to be some serious rain for the rest of this week.
Yeah.
And next
Also,
week.
the tropical storm. What's happening with that? Because as far as I knew, thank you for bringing that up, Michelle. As far as I knew, it was coming like right to us.
Yeah, but I think it's depleted now. Deflated. It's no longer power. It's not even considered a hurricane or it's.
So we got the residue over here.
Yeah, we're just going to have a whole lot of rain.
Yeah. Okay. What was your story there, Derek?
The story, about the Governor Deal.
Yeah.
Yes, this is from Savannah. It says Georgia Governor Nathan Deal has signed a new inland port agreement with the Georgia Ports Authority to expand shipping services throughout the region. The agreement Deal signed yesterday will provide a 200-mile rail route, between the authority's terminal in Savannah to southwest Georgia, Florida, and Alabama.
Not bad.
The Georgia Ports Authority officials say the deal will help expand markets for regional businesses. Republican State Representative Buddy Hardin of Cordele says the agreement will help expedite shipping because truckers will no longer have to make the round-trip deliveries from Cordele to Savannah or Brunswick. Deal says the agreement will officially connect businesses throughout the region and is a part of a broader effort to support economic growth. GPA Director Curtis Full says the agreement will provide customers with access to 38 weekly shipping services, I guess, throughout the Georgia coast.
Anything to bring business to the state.
Yes.
God knows.
Yes.
I mean, we are so behind on just about everything.
Yes.
It'd be great for us to have some more, anything that'll drum up some business.
Exactly.
Because, after all, Georgia is a wonderful state. I'm telling you guys. Despite how much I may bash it, this is a beautiful place to live. I feel it's one of the best places in America to live. Because it's not like Florida where you're afraid to even cross the street because they start beeping their horn at 200 feet before they even get to you. They're so angry over there in Florida.
Plus, not to mention
the time.
Plus, well, it's a really narrow strip of land anyway. You got to worry about,
Yeah, narrow-minded.
Yeah, you got to worry about the hurricanes too. I mean, this is like the tornado island, but you're surrounded by water.
Ridiculous. I mean, they're so angry there. All of them. A lot of them, man. Not all of them. A lot of them. More than needs to be.
Yeah.
And they're all grumpy down there. And then you find out that most of them come from New York. It's no wonder. They go down there and they bring their grumpiness from New York down to Florida. So what I like is that Georgia, yeah, exactly, angry Floridian. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Michelle. There you go. Floridian. I like that. Anyway, but serious, you come to Georgia, and yeah, there has all its racial issues, but you can live in peace here. It's almost like the last little vestige of somewhat freedom here. I mean, yeah, you have a police state somewhat, and police are all up your ass here and there, but in the end, literally. But in the end, it is a great state to live. I mean, if you go around, you go to Rome, it's gorgeous over there. You go to Gwinnett County, although they belt you down and take your blood if they even suspect you of having DUI. But it's still, I mean, beautiful, beautiful areas in Georgia to visit.
Right.
Beautiful towns. And the people really try very hard to be cordial and nice. They try to live up to the Bible Belt. But I think they have two notches too tight. Sometimes.
Yes.
They need to loosen up,
Without a doubt.
I'm glad to hear that, the Klan runs amok in northern Georgia. That's true. But it also runs amok in Connecticut, where Ed is from. And in Pennsylvania, so they're up there,
And even parts of Montana and other. And
I'm sure they have them in Canada.
Well, I don't know about Canada. It's kind of, first of all, it's too cold to be that prejudiced over there. And plus, not to mention, it's kind of hard to burn a cross, in the middle of a blizzard. So that's another reason right there.
Thank you, Seafluck. He says, take a look at the book. He says, better off without him to understand the North-South thing. I wonder.
The Klan is mainly a southern thing.
Well, yeah. Because it doesn't snow that much, so, in the South.
He says most of the Klan people here in Connecticut are black. Really? But only as long as your equal opportunity doesn't come out of my wallet. There you go.
Come on.
You even
not all of them are David Chappelle. I'm sorry, man.
Anyway, no freeloaders, he said. All right, well, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. But,
well, I do.
What do we got here? We got another story.
I do have some good story.
Okay.
I wanted you to read the one about Jodi Arias because we were talking about Jodi Arias way back when I sent that to you.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
And that's why I sent it to you then.
Okay.
When I send you one,
I'll go ahead and get it while it's still, it's definitely some breaking news.
I'll get the Godzilla sound next time if you want.
Yeah.
Some breaking news, basically. Says, and here's a weird wing dang dinger from Ed right here. It says, last of the Bee Gees staying alive for Jodi Arias. Wow. Lone surviving Bee Gee Barry Gibb is writing a song inspired by the sensational trial of convicted killer Jodi Arias.
What the hell's wrong with him? What is he doing? Why is he doing this? He's the last Bee Gee alive.
Staying alive. Anyway, Arias, age 33, faces possible execution in Arizona after being found guilty of the brutal murder of her ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander, in June of 2008. It says, what I am trying at the moment is a track about Jodi Arias' trial in America, said Gibb, the only surviving member of the famous singing brothers, the Bee Gees. The girl has been found guilty and is facing the death penalty. There will be at least one track about that. It has really struck me. Basically, in her trial, the vixen claims self-defense, even though she stabbed Alexander 27 times, shot him in the head, and slashed his throat, and had it on camera, by the way.
It was an accident.
An accident, yes.
Tragic accident.
Mm-hmm. The 66-year-old Grammy winner, Mr. Gibbs, says he decided to write more music after contemplating the untimely loss of his brothers. Robin Gibb, his brother who died of colon cancer last year of age 62, and Robin's twin brother Maurice, who died at age 53 after emergency surgery in 2003. And he also had a younger brother who wasn't in the Bee Gees, his youngest sibling, Andy Gibb, who died in 1988 at age 30 after losing a battle with drugs and depression.
They're all dead.
And OD.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's the only one left. Maybe that's why he's saying staying alive.
Well, yeah, that's probably keeping him alive, just basically keeping himself busy writing songs and making music. I mean, because you do what you do best.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, after seeing all your siblings die, I guess he doesn't want anybody else to.
And plus, him being the oldest one too. At that, I mean, all of them are younger siblings.
Well, younger, and he was the best looking one out of them.
Well,
they all look like.
Well, he definitely knew how to groom a beard. That's for sure.
They all look like flamingos. Like bird beaky noses.
Flamingos.
Yeah, beak nose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that guy used to wail like a girl. Remember what's his name?
Well, that was it, Barry.
Yeah, Barry. Yeah.
Staying alive. Anyway, but I digress.
That was in honor of him.
Yes, thank you very
By
much.
the way, right now, he was a great composer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's decomposing now.
Yeah.
Like Beethoven.
Thank you, Ed. He's still composing something.
What's Brown and sits on the piano seat? Beethoven's Last Movement.
All right, what do we got? We're talking about pigs this morning.
Yeah, speaking of
I'm such a
like
pig.
one.
All right, here we go. This one.
It is right here. Pig virus migrates to U.S. and threatens pork prices. Also, want to thank Judy Lay for that. For another story that's coming up about Mercer Suitors. Yeah. This is from Jake Wade from WMEZ. Pork prices could rise in the next few months because of a virus that has migrated to the U.S., killing piglets in 15 states.
There goes our bacon.
Yep. At alarming rate in facilities where it has been reported. Colorado Department of Agriculture official Dr. Nick Striegel says the porcine epidemic diarrhea virus pig virus, was thought to exist only in Europe and China. Colorado and 14 other states began reporting the virus in April of this year, and officials have confirmed its presence in about 200 hog facilities around the nation. Striegel says it's unclear now how many pigs have died from the virus that causes severe diarrhea, vomiting, and dehydration. But it has been devastating for pork producers where it has been diagnosed. He says the disease is not harmful to humans, and there is no evidence that it affects pork products. The virus has been confirmed in Arkansas, Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, North Carolina, New York, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, and South Dakota. So watch out.
They went from the smoking pig to the puking pig.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, there you go.
So watch where you
to
get
our little piglets. Make sure you watch what you're eating.
Yeah, those who live in those aforementioned states that I talked about, check your bacon and your ham and stuff, because you don't know what you have.
Thank you, Michelle. Remind these kids they need to stay on topic. They're all over the place again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you, Opiate. He said, I had 11 slices of bacon overnight with a cheeseburger. Now I'm sick of the stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you eat 11 pieces of bacon, yeah.
That's a lot of bacon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you may need to cut down. Just get have a salad every once in a while. Eat an apple.
Yeah, I need you as a hall monitor. Make sure you have your gun, Michelle, ready. All right? You just shoot these assholes.
Mm-hmm.
They keep going off topic. This is what they do all the freaking time. They come on the show and they start bullshitting about something else and get everybody else distracted.
Uh-huh.
And then all you see is Derek's lips move.
True.
Well, we're 4 minutes behind here, so actually I watched this thing. It's like I looked at the. I mean, we're 4 minutes.
Rocco says kosher bacon.
That's an oxymoron, isn't it?
Well, he's just saying.
No, it's not an oxymoron.
He said, "Oh yes, there is a kosher bacon." You know what? It's true.
Okay.
They do have have some products that according to Jewish tradition they would never eat. But now, as long as the rabbi blesses it, and that's very scriptural. I mean, that's
where's Larry?
Anyway,
You call Larry.
Larry
Schlesinger.
Oh yeah, I gotta call Larry.
So we can bless our bacon.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna need it.
Well, because there are some. Yeah, I do know some Reformed Jews who do eat pork, because that kind of freaked me out.
Oh,
because I remember I ordered the pizza from Domino's someplace like that. I had some, it was a meatloaf with like pepperoni and sausage and stuff, and the guy says, "Hey, Dave, could I borrow a slice of?" Like, this is pork, right? Yeah, and you're Jewish, right? Yeah, like, you want to eat this? He's like, yeah.
He wasn't living up to tradition. You have that all the time.
But see, Reform Judaism, I guess people who reform, it's okay for them to eat pork. I guess in that particular sect or denomination, I guess they could eat pork.
Yeah. Well, Chief Lux says from the CDC, because this virus is typically transmitted from pigs to people, the CDC officials are urging people at a high risk for flu complications such as young children, the elderly, and those with underlying health conditions to avoid pigs at county fairs. There you go.
Oh, well, we did have a Georgia State Fair, county fair, so I guess we don't have to worry about that.
Don't worry about that. Oh, by the way, Cocknose says, it's a funny name, Bacon Bits doesn't have pork in it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's kind of
Well, what the hell is it then?
Couldn't think of it.
Tofu.
I really don't know. I have no idea. It's just some reddish stuff like pork flavored Pop Rocks.
There you
or
go.
something.
There's our little pig friend walking in his crap, I guess. What's that stuff on the ground there next to that pig?
I don't know. I was gonna say a spotlight.
Let's talk like pigs.
Ew.
Oh,
jeez. No, I don't want a Jeep Wrangler. Anyway, I have some breaking news. Some breaking news right now.
Thank you, Ed.
Thanks, Ed. To escape a trailer fire in South Bibb. This is breaking news.
There we go.
2 people escaped a fire last night that completely destroyed a house trailer in South Bibb County. It happened at 8410 Hawkinsville Road in North Park Manor. According to Captain Harold Dwayne Marcus with the Macon-Bibb County Fire Department, only one trailer was involved and the fire was contained around 11. No cause has been determined at the time. The property manager, Tina Lathrop Upshaw, says that she called 911 when she looked out the window at her neighbor's trailer and saw smoke. Other witnesses say they heard a loud boom before the fire. Donald and Joanne Hall made it out without major injuries, but their home was completely destroyed.
Yeah.
According to Lathrop Upshaw, Joanne suffered some blisters and was being treated for her injuries. Neighbors also told the news source WMAZ, Channel 13, that the Halls lost a dog and possibly other pets in the fire. Some neighbors have already donated clothes to the family. The property manager says they also need a locksmith because all of their car keys were inside. So if you would like to help and would like to donate for the families, for the survivors of the fire, they ask you to call the North Park Manor Front office at 478-785-8500. That's 478-785-8500. Donations can be left at Lot 2 of the trailer park.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Trailer homes, trailer parks, and, of course, we have trailer trash. And I want to talk about the Democratic Party here in Georgia. Because they live and they act like trailer trash. All right? Once again, we have another resignation. Okay? This is like musical chairs. And actually, I thought of that, and as I'm reading the story, guess what they said? They used the terminology musical chairs. All right? Some might say the Bibb County Democratic Party is playing musical chairs. At Fred Swan, by the way, when he resigned, Al Tillman put it on Facebook. It just blew up all of a sudden. And then Fred Swan immediately answered and said, yeah, well, I appoint this one, she's next one in line. So my last act as chairman, I'm going to appoint this one as the interim. It's like a communist party here, the way they run it. And it says, some might say the Bibb County Democratic Party is playing musical chairs. Add Fred Swan's name to the list of former chairs of a local party. Swan, who resigned Monday because of the chair after Sarah Hunt stepped down. Hunt became chair after Danny Glover was forced to resign. Glover became the chair after the Democrats forced Darrell Morton out of the position. And Swan didn't return our calls, but former Democratic Executive Committee member Steve Allen says Swan resigned because of the current turmoil among the 24-member committee. Allen resigned last week from the Democratic group after the committee attempted to oust him from the Macon-Bibb County Board of Elections. He remains on the elections board. And that we talked about this morning, how now the judge ruled for us to be able to have elections. The reason why he had to step in, because these stupid-ass people can't even keep their jobs. They're all resigning left and right. And, when I had my press conference for the Parvo case, I asked Larry Schlesinger, who's a Democrat here, because I think Joe Allen is a closet Republican, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think he is. But in any case, I asked Schlesinger whether, what's he think of this? And he said, well, I just stay out of it. This is the problem that we have, is people stay out of things. They don't want to voice their opinion or say anything. And then, of course, you have all this mayhem. And you know what this causes? This causes stagnation, because our local government is being viewed that they can't get their act together. Right. And when you have Ray LaHood, who's the head of the TSA, come here, right, and tell us, get your act together. And when you hear the people that live here saying, get your act together, and then this only proves and makes a point of what we're saying to get your act together, I say it again and I'll say it again. I said it before and I'll say it again. Right. Get your act together, Macon. You're already a disgrace in some parts of this nation. And unless you get your act together, we're going to continue to stay on the same road of incompetent government, the inability for us to get ahead and become a real city. And we're always going to be dealing with the same people over and over and over again. And that's why I decided to run. I wanted to change the faces that were up there. And from what I see, the same faces are running again. So, isn't that called insanity? Repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? That's
Right.
known as insanity, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm saying, to our local people and anybody that's out there that's a local resident, get into politics. It's not that bad. Just, maybe you can make a difference in the city.
Right.
Because God knows that what's there now ain't doing shit. And they're not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're laying low. Just like you said, I don't get involved with that. I don't get involved in that. Yeah, well, everybody's saying that. Nobody gets involved in anything. That's why we're at where we're at.
Right.
Anyway, I said my piece. And there's more to come. Believe me, this ain't over yet. What else is in the news? I got, we had the Macon police chief resign. Woman charged in Macon stabbing. Did we do that one?
No, not yet.
Okay, here we go. Bibb County Sheriff's Office arrested a woman and charged her with aggravated assault for stabbing another woman. According to the news release, witnesses told deputies 47-year-old Lisa Martino. She's not related. Okay. Martino. Went to the home of 23-year-old Camille Gordon, saw an argument with her, then stabbed her twice. Deputy found Martino at the Windsor Inn in Rosmere Drive. She is being held at Bibb County Jail. There you have it. Even the women are into stabbing each other around here.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Talking about backstab.
And, no, really. Anyway, this Bibb County office, this Democratic Party is a disgrace. Mm-hmm. And I've always said that. I've always said that. There's too much cronyism. That's why even, I'm not trying to give credence to the Republicans because I think they're the worst of the worst. But this is why they have some leg to stand on when they say the Democratic Party is really full of it. Mm-hmm. They're not progressive. They have no new ideas because, in a sense, it's proven in this town, at least, that they like to stay entrenched. They don't want to move. They don't want progression. They don't want any of that.
Wow.
It stirs the pot, and they're afraid to lose power.
Yeah.
Speaking of power,
or at least
lack thereof,
I had some breaking news. This is from Nashville, Tennessee, from CBS News. It says country music star Randy Travis suffered a stroke while at a Texas hospital. Was in surgery late last night. The singer, according to the singer's publicist. Says publicist Kurt Webster said that Wednesday night, the 54-year-old Randy Travis suffered a stroke while he was being treated for congestive heart failure because of a viral illness. Webster said that Travis was undergoing surgery to relieve pressure on his brain. He remains in critical condition. His family Webster said, also added, his family and friends were here with him at the hospital to request your prayers and support. And earlier yesterday, doctors said that Travis was showing signs of improvement but remained in critical condition with congestive heart failure because of said viral illness. The information came from a video statement from doctors William Gray and Michael Mack of the Baylor Health Care System back in yesterday. It says his condition has stabilized and has shown signs of improvement. Mack said in the video, on behalf of Mr. Travis's family, friends, and associates, we would like to express our extreme gratitude for the overwhelming affection and support that Mr. Travis has received. So basically, according to this, this virus must be that Mr. Travis has may be a case of cardiomyopathy, a heart condition caused by the virus that has affected his heart muscle, causing it to become weakened and enlarged, so that it could not pump blood properly.
Wow. What's it called?
Viral cardiomyopathy.
Wow. I have some, what is it? I have some apathy. No, never mind. Anyway, I tried to make a joke out of this, but it's no joking matter, folks. I myself had open heart surgery. It's a very hard thing to deal with. Mm-hmm. And he's still in critical condition, so who knows?
Yes.
By the way, welcome to both brothers, Coffee Guy and Tara London. It's good to have you guys on.
Oh, man, so nice to see you. Have both of you here.
Update on Tara's campaign for mayor of Macon, Georgia. His ad is coming out on the Telegraph tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we'll get some kind of copy from him. Maybe we could pick it right up from the Telegraph. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go on break, but hopefully we'll pick it up from the Telegraph and we'll post it up and we'll continue to promote Mr. Harris, making sure that he gets a good shot of becoming mayor. Go ahead, bro.
Yes, indeed. It's 10 o'clock right now. We're into the home stretch right now. 2 hours gone and one more to go. It's you're watching the Morning Roast at 73 degrees outside of Macon, Georgia. With is very cloudy with a high chance of rain and thunderstorms, with a high of 88 and a low of 72. You're watching the Morning Roast with Irv, Ed, and DB live from the Nut House / Doghouse.
Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that mouse.
Yeah, please. You're right.
Hey, I'm Jillian on Buzz 60. Here's someone who turned something painful into something fun and inspiring. Christina Stevens underwent a below-the-knee amputation after her foot was crushed as she changed the brakes on her car. Since receiving her amputation, Christina, an occupational therapist, has shared videos on YouTube documenting her rehab. From answering questions about phantom limb pain to getting a tattoo. But it's this video of Christina making a prosthetic leg out of Legos that has gone viral. Christina says she got the idea from a joke her coworker made, but warns her viewers not to do this themselves. You can get hurt.
Lego.
Now that is how you play with Legos. Buzz 60, now you know, pass it on.
Less than a week after Egypt's first democratically elected president was overthrown, the public is deeply divided, and tempers keep flaring. A warning now, you might find some of the video that we're about to air disturbing. It shows an incident in Egypt's second largest city that is igniting outrage across the country. Ben Wiedemann has that story.
The teenage boys huddled in terror atop a water tank on the roof of their apartment building in Alexandria. As an angry crowd of supporters of deposed President Mohamed Morsi gathers below, others scour the rooftop. The boys, it's been reported, may have tossed bricks down into the street during a pro-Morsi march. Rocks and taunts were thrown at the boys. In the upper left-hand corner of the frame, men appear to be beating someone. The cell phone video is shaky, the images jarring. One man, then another, is thrown down around 20 feet, then beaten. One died, another survived by breaking away and scrambling down water pipes. Separately, the attackers threw 19-year-old Hamada Badr to his death down an air shaft. The incident and the video have inflamed opinion against Morsi's Muslim Brotherhood. You are dirty bastards, shouts popular talk show host Amr Adib. There is nothing dirtier than this. I've never in my entire life seen anything dirtier than this.
Yeah, right.
Attention quickly focused on this man carrying a flag popular with Islamist hardliners. Police arrested him within 24 hours, identifying him as Mahmoud Hassan Ramadan. An acquaintance describes him as a jihadi. Ramadan recounted on state television what happened.
أنا كنت بغزه بالمطوة كده في جنبه.
I was stabbing one of them in the side when he grabbed my hand and said, "No, Sheikh, no." And I stopped, he says. He told police he shaved off his beard to avoid being recognized after the footage was posted on Facebook.
Tava na minha voz de Campinas também presente. Chegou o DJ André. Tava o meu mano saiu. Cantando mais do que lasanha. Cantando mais do que lasanha. Aí, nós tava tudo na quebrada. Quando nós tomamos um enquadro, tá ligado? Moleque, na tabela, na função.
And we are back. That was a serious, crazy stuff that was going on in the Middle East and also in Brazil.
First of all, he was singing horribly.
Well, he was singing in Portuguese.
I have to say, I might have shot him. Exactly. Yeah, I don't even like guns. I don't even use.
You would have shot him too.
Shut the fuck up!
Damn.
It's horrible.
Well, whatever happened to booing, man?
I hope he was shot in the leg. I mean, look. Like, get him the hell off the stage already.
Well,
walking around.
Remember they used to have chicken wire
making all this freaking noise.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the Blues Brothers, yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. No, that
was I would have shot a warning shot.
Yeah. Movie, but no, that was way back.
Oh.
Anyway.
Tara so that's how American Idol is in the Middle East.
Yeah, exactly. They don't like you, they shoot your ass.
Whatever to just booing and throw tomatoes and stuff.
I mean, I bet you the person that was listening got so irate with all the noise and the horror show that was going on there.
Yeah.
That, you know what? I'm never going to be able to boo this guy off the stage.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the guy didn't make it.
Oh.
This guy was a Brazilian rapper, MC Deleste. He was a 20-year-old rapper.
How unique, MC
Deleste, D-A-L-L-E-S-T. He was a 20-year-old rapper who was fatally shot while performing at a free concert at Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Wow.
He was midway through a show when he was shot in the abdomen and collapsed on stage. He died later in the hospital. The incident was caught on several videos posted on YouTube by fans who attended the gig. The disturbing clips, which have accumulated over 5 million views, show Deleste, which his real name is Daniel Pellegrini, rapping before he falls to the ground. According to Billboard, he was involved in Sao Paulo's Ostination funk scene, Brazilian funk, where rappers trade gangsta bars over heavily percussive beats. His releases have included songs about drug dealers, mothers, goddesses, and hating the police. So basically, he had some controversial lyrics in his songs, and somebody decided, screw this, and pow. So
wow.
So it didn't. So instead of
he
booing
died doing what he loved.
Yeah. Basically, it's in another disturbing act of public violence a week before. Prior to this, 2 men were killed in an amateur football match in PO 12 XII in northern Brazil. In this incident, a mob of spectators beheaded a referee who had stabbed one of the players. It was like, gee, monetic.
Wow. Yeah, folks, rappers getting killed now on stage.
And referees getting their heads cut off in freaking soccer matches.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you look, even on our Facebook, of course, I'm in the so-called Bible Belt. Mm-hmm. It's more like the Bible rope. But
the noose.
Bible noose. But a lot of these, even in the black community, they hate rap. And they say, oh, it's destroying our kids and it's destroying the culture and their lyrics are too inflammatory and this and that. Well, it's not only here. Mm-hmm. It's obviously in Brazil.
Yeah.
But you see, in Brazil, they took action immediately. Just blow this guy away and get him off stage. I'm not advocating that, but geez, man.
That's kind of like the extreme version of the Gong Show.
Yeah, exactly. Extreme version of Gong Show, yes.
The Bang Show.
Pow.
The Big Bang Theory.
Not that type of bang. That's not the type of bang I want. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, all I can say is, rest in peace. Mm-hmm. He was very young. He's only 20 years old.
Well,
still a baby.
Our bandwidth is back up now, so whatever was happening in the last couple hours is something with the Cox communication.
Yeah,
I see.
They're a bunch of cockheads. All right, so
bunch of cocks.
Yeah. They must be related to Cocknose. Cocknose has been quiet for the last 20 minutes.
Cocknose is gone.
No, he's not, is he? Hold on. So,
he's been quiet.
Yeah, he has been. Anyway,
as an earlier story, I talked about.
We're 10 minutes past our break time, no?
Well, we
just came back. I'm going crazy.
Anyway, it's 10:10 a.m. in Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
Last hour.
Oh yes, it is by that time.
Last hour of in honor of this young kid. Let's do that.
Yeah, because
his
family definitely needs it. It's July 11th. July 11th.
July 11th, Thursday.
7-11.
Now, isn't this funny? This is kind of relates. Today's our daily bread is called The Winding Road. And we're going to read from parts of Psalm. And in his book, A Sweet and Bitter Providence, John Piper offers these thoughts about God's providence and guidance. Life is not a straight time leading to one blessing to the next, and then finally to heaven. Life is a winding and troubled road. God is not just showing up after the trouble and cleaning it up. He is also plotting the course and managing the troubles with far-reaching purposes for our good and the good and glory of Jesus Christ. The Jews journeying through Jerusalem for the annual feast in Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 16, had the assurance of knowing that the Lord was plotting their course and managing the winding and troubled roads for them. They expressed this assurance in Psalm 121, a pilgrim song. The question, "From whence comes my help?" did not express doubt, but affirmation in the Lord who rules supreme. Verse 1 and 2. Unlike the God who sometimes slumbers, or the God with a small g, Baal, who needed to be rustled out of the stupor, 1 Kings 18 verse 27, the Lord is fully alert and secured the journey of his people with providence care, verse 3 and 4. The Lord who rescued Israel will continue to help, preserve, and walk with his people. Life is a winding road with unknown perils and troubles, but we can certainly be certain of God's providence, security, and care. Written by Marvin Williams. Dear Lord, sometimes life seems to be full of perilous and winding roads. Thank you for giving us the assurance that you have our course plotted and are watching over our every step. Troubles are unknown. God's providence is certain. Then he says in Psalm 121:3, he will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. There you have it.
And there's your daily
The Morning Roast. Brings you our daily bread. There you go. Thank you.
All right. Thank you
All right,
very
there
much.
you have it, folks.
I have some really good stories. I guess on there to get on a good note. Talking about getting on the good foot, as that one lady did with that Lego building block leg. Here's something about another story about amputees, and probably even get on the good foot, if you will.
Okay.
Not talking now. No disrespect to James Brown. This is.
Robert gets shot, Bible passage, and then Godzilla.
Yeah, there you go.
How about that?
It's all in.
We got it all. We got it all.
We got it all. We got it all.
I'll tell you.
And this is story. Mercer students help Vietnamese amputees. Yes, Mercer students help Vietnamese amputees. This was a story from WMAZ. It was reported by the lovely Judy Lee, who interviewed Irving Martinez.
Yes.
Yes.
And yes, and you like her, don't you?
What's not to like? Oh. Well, anyway, a trip to a different country could be challenging, especially with the language barrier. That didn't stop a group of Mercer University students who traveled 18 hours to Vietnam to change a few lives. A group of Mercer University students went to South Vietnam on a 3-week mission trip to fit prosthetics on amputees. There are two main reasons for the growing amputee population: war and old landmines. Almost 2,000 Vietnamese amputees were fitted with prosthetics. It takes about 2 to 4 weeks to fit a custom prosthetic in the United States, but in Vietnam, they are fitted in 45 minutes to an hour. That's really fast. The parts cost anywhere from somewhere between $100 to $150. That's significantly cheaper than the average prosthetic here in the United States.
It's made out of Lego?
Well, no, that was from the other one. Oh. This is a whole other prosthetic.
Do you imagine it shatters on you? That I walk in, some of the pieces come up.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
And then you step on the motherfucker.
Yeah, they're inexpensive because of a special system. A special system designed by Dr. Ha Vo, the engineering assistant professor at Mercer University. Says this life-changing device was free for these amputees. The team designed a pediatric prosthetic to also help more children. So they even have prosthetics for children who have been victims to landmines as well.
Wow.
So thank you to Mercer University, and thank you, Ms. Judy Lee.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, even, if you remember Princess Diana, now her son is taking that over, but you go to different countries, man, they got landmines like everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and you could be walking on a beach. It's going to take 100 years to clean that up. And most of them will be cleaned up by the people blowing their legs off. And then they'll know, oh, okay, well, there's a mine. That's over. At least we know where that one was. I mean, it's a sad thing, but they mined all these beaches and everywhere. In Vietnam and throughout all that.
Laos and Cambodia.
There's got to be a way that they can go in with some kind of like a noisemaker or something and just stand on the beach and put it on, and maybe that noise can blow them all up.
Well, they do have something, I guess, kind of like Geiger counters or not Geiger counters, like those metal detectors that you have to use that.
Yeah, but they got to walk on that.
Yeah, that's
blow themselves up on the way.
I think that's why they have the robotics one that they had over at City Hall. Remember about a little over a month ago.
That $1 million machine that they spent all this money on.
Yeah, they use that for.
They use it once a year
to get to get
if that.
Yes, to get the from.
Yeah, they blew up a backpack that had nothing in it but a bunch of makeup and other crap. I mean, come on, give me a break.
Yeah.
Crap they spend their money on. Meanwhile, kids need stuff in school. If you're gonna spend money, and everybody bitches and moaning about how the government spends money on people and all that,
right?
That's where it should go. Because if not, you know what it's gonna go on? It's gonna go on nonsense, on other stuff that has nothing to do to help anybody.
Right.
You know.
But I haven't.
You think about it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it does the bomb thing that they have the robotics. It does kind of help people. It may not as much here in Macon, but I'm quite sure it would definitely be a big help to those who live in places like Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia and other places like elsewhere, like Somalia or Bosnia, and even other places in the Middle East for that matter, where they have these bombs going on. I do have another story.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up because also on the Pope, but you're still doing local. Keep going.
Yeah, I think I have one more local story, then probably go into more national, international. This is for Macon family that honors slain teen Jemani Bland. It says early Friday morning, this past Friday morning, 17-year-old Jemani Bland was killed, shot outside the Zodiac Lounge in Macon. It says Jacqueline Sanders Bland's mother said, I had to talk to him earlier that day, so why he was down there, what he was doing, I don't know. Now, police say Bland appears to be an innocent bystander. Sanders says her son was getting his life back on track after he was hanging with the wrong crowd and getting into trouble. He was even considering joining the military. And Ms. Sanders added on that was one of the options that his granddad had brought up to him that would be good for him. He could make a career out of it. He loved, the late teen loved basketball and was protective of his siblings. And he said that, well, of course, his sister, Jaquel, says that they were very close and he was a very good brother and he's going to be missed a lot.
Yeah.
This upcoming Thursday, tonight, the family is holding a prayer vigil outside the Zodiac Lounge at 426 Walnut Street in Macon, Georgia, from 7 until 8 p.m. tonight for those who are going to be in downtown Macon. And says that anyone, his mother says that anyone that was there that night, or if you have any information, please call the Macon Police Department and give them the information, which will give her closure and will help her in her grieving.
Very sad, very sad.
Very sad story.
Another of our kids are getting killed for no good reason.
Yes.
You know? And, you know, we gotta really protect the kids. A lot of times people stigmatize these young boys and say, oh, they're thugs and they're this and that. But a lot of them are just kids. I mean, you know, I'm sure your parents said the worst about you when you were growing up. And if you remember in the 60s and 70s, I mean, half these kids, you know, they couldn't even talk at that time like they do now. You know, same shit. History repeats itself.
Yeah.
And even in, if you guys remember, the Munsters, Herman Munster, there was a band that came, one of the band guys actually liked Marilyn.
Yeah.
And, of course, they were talking all this stuff to Herman Munster. And, you know, he made a joke that says, you know, seeing these kids really encourages me about our future. Of course, that was a side joke, you know, referring to what people were thinking then, which was that the young people of the 60s and 70s, the parents were appalled at them. And even during the 70s, where the parents tried to find a way to deal with these kids, they started assimilating them and starting to look like them and act like them. And that's where there's a book written called From Men to Boys, where in my era, my father, I would never, I mean, I grew up hearing the music because it was forced down my throat. Later on, of course, I got to like it, but I mean, he had a whole different era. And today, the way parents are, the father even smokes weed with his kids. I mean, they don't care anymore. They just, and I think that's a backlash to how the kids were feeling during the 60s and 70s. They were so alienated by their parents. And, you know, that was a way of kind of making up for that. Who the hell knows?
True.
But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, during the 70s and 80s, and especially in the 90s too, you know, the parents became like friends to their kids. It's weird. They listen to the same music, wear the same clothes. You see all these older men walking around in running pants, and, you know, they don't wear ties and suits and collared shirts like they used to.
That's true.
They just don't.
Very
you know?
true.
But speaking of protecting our kids, Pope Francis finally outlaws child abuse on Vatican grounds. Never mind what happens outside that. Who the hell knows how they handle that?
Yeah.
But as far as he's concerned, in Vatican City, the law is that child abuse is a crime. You better hit that dun dun dun.
Okay.
Because to me, this is like, duh.
Says Pope Francis lay down the law on child sex abuse on Vatican grounds.
Got no noise. I'm speechless here. There is no dun. It's like, hello.
Well,
you
it
just
says
figured
that
out.
Pope Francis had laid down the law, making it a crime.
Right, making it a crime. It wasn't a crime before. In other words, it was whatever.
But now it is?
Yeah, now it is. It's about freaking time.
Wow.
There you have it. Woo! Holy crap. This is worse than a Godzilla movie. Hello? Exactly. It deserves all that. I love that soundbite. Exactly. It's completely laughable, folks. If it wasn't so serious.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Thank you.
Why all of a sudden he figured this one out? God bless his heart. But how do they say him And here in Georgia, when you're really telling somebody he's an asshole, you say, God bless his heart.
Bless your heart.
Oh, bless your heart, Mr. Pope. About frickin' time. All right, here we go. Pope Francis has laid down the law, making it a crime to abuse children sexually or physically on Vatican ground. The Holy See announced Thursday. The acts were already crimes under church law, but are now specifically outlawed within the Vatican City state, which is home to hundreds of people. The legislation also covers child prostitution and the creation and or possession of child pornography. It's a...
No, I'm looking at this link this guy posted. I'm guessing about how many seconds before he gets banned.
All right, well, it's a broader scope of, according to Radio Vatican, it has provisions and international laws against war crimes, racial discrimination, and humiliating treatment or punishment to the Vatican's legal system. It includes wording from the Geneva Conventions. Francis issued the new laws as a mono proprio, meaning that the document was his own initiative. Vatican Radio said the new criminal laws are part of an ongoing update of the Vatican's legal system, which began under Pope Benedict. Okay, we can't have that on the channel, so if you put that up, who is that?
That's not us, that's somebody else.
That's somebody's channel.
We're not broadcasting, so don't worry about it.
I mean, the link is on.
That's somebody on Vaughn is, and I'm trying to guess how many minutes before he gets banned.
Right, well.
Okay, it's 10:27, so so far 1 minute, minute and a half.
Well, let's, that's not good. Anyway, thank you, Michelle. Anyway, let's get that out of here.
Okay.
Could we get that link off, Ed?
What link?
There's a link on there.
Oh, I could do this.
From Lawrenceville Sucks.
Same thing, just go person.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, there we go.
Speaking of some pork and whatever, because we talked about pork virus and stuff and other foods. I have this one thing story right here. A food-borne illness traced to Alabama funeral. Wow, this is in York, Alabama. The State Department of Public Health officials say a food-borne illness outbreak has sickened at least 36 people who ate at a funeral in western Alabama. It says Department spokeswoman Dr. Mary McIntyre says more than 100 people are said to have attended a funeral July the 6th at Eastern Star Baptist Church in York. McIntyre says at least 30 people have been hospitalized in serious condition, and preliminary tests from Alabama Bureau of Clinical Laboratories have come back positive for salmonella. Officials say that the investigation into the foodborne illness outbreak involves people who have been hospitalized in Alabama, California, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, and Oklahoma. McIntyre says an investigation was launched after 25 people admitted to emergency rooms earlier this month for fevers, diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting. Whoa, Nelly!
Well,
so somebody must have
some trace Alabama funeral.
Yeah, from
so they go to a funeral, get sick, and now some of them may die.
Well, they said
they'll have to go back.
Said it was fatal, but you know. Somebody got
never
some
know.
bad.
Some people it is.
Got some bad chicken or some potato salad or something. I mean, you know, you got to cook that stuff right.
Maybe that's an omen to the person's that they just buried.
Yeah.
He gave people sour stomachs.
Yeah.
Some. Who knows?
That's very true.
Anyway, hey, Iraq, welcome, buddy. Yes, we are well. We're living and breathing and BSing here on Vaughn. You just missed a little bit of somebody dumping a porn channel link.
Mm-hmm. Well, he put it up there and asked us to report it, is what he did.
Yeah.
Oh,
trying to get people to report it because it's still up there.
It's still there though. It's been 3 minutes.
Where is it? It's not on our shot.
No,
it's not on our shot. We already erased the.
Oh, we're erased
the link. We already erased the link from it off the timeline.
Whoever's in charge of Vaughn is sleeping right now.
Who knows? They're asleep.
Okay.
But anyway, I want to welcome everybody. We're going to start from the top because we're on our last leg here. Seaflug, DS Photo Guy, Urbex Skillet. We got Ant's Vagina, ATT, here forever. Harry Beavers, just close to you. Welcome, welcome. Lady K1, Manny, Michelle Stacy, Montana Spring, welcome. Mr. Mike, Nicole 3000, one of our old buddies here. Make Obama's Cat, Opiate for Life, welcome to you. RJ, Rocco, Shorty Brave, 7, Yurak Wildcat, one of our great friends here on our show. Cocknose, Hypo Opnik, Siggers, and Tower of London. Coffee Guy left. Anyway, hope he's doing well. Welcome all to our show. I know it's a little late in the game, but want to welcome. Mm-hmm. And what else is in the news there, buddy?
Yes.
You got Ant. Ant, I just saw your
new
Facebook page.
Yes, it looked like you were just...
What the hell is that all about?
Yeah, it looked like he's becoming... I guess,
sexy-ass self trying to show you.
Is he trying to get in that new movie, a Suplex, that Joseph Lavender's getting ready to film? I thought he was trying to get into the wrestler's, character or something like that.
Yeah, no, actually, he looks
Let me tell you something, brother.
He looks like the guy that's about to turn into the Incredible Hulk. When he starts getting angry and then you taste that
Hulk smash.
Anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of which, in case you didn't get the news, earlier this morning, and I got an email from the agency. It says that I got the call back, so I got to drive back to Charlotte, North Carolina tomorrow.
Yep. He's gonna be a dad. He needs some pointers.
I'm playing the dad, but hopefully I'll be able to slim down after we film it next week. Hopefully I'll be able to get down and
says congratulations.
Thanks, Ant. Thanks, Yurak too.
Yeah, it's great news. I'm so happy for him. I know it's an art form that he loves to do.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Anthony, I saw your OMB. Is that what it's called?
Who?
It's some site where it shows like all your credits and all the shit that you did.
Oh, IMDb.
IMDb, whatever. And it's pretty impressive. I was very impressed. I mean, you were in a lot of shit. You were in that movie Flight too. You're in that movie with Denzel Washington. Of course, it's pretty quick, but shit, you were sitting at that table during his interrogation with the, the TSA or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So the woman was, but pretty cool, man. You got a lot of stuff under your belt, and I'm proud of you. Good to know.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm excited. Oh, by the way, I did answer your email. I'm going to be a redneck, folks. I'm going to play a redneck.
Yes.
I mean, that's going to be a lot of fun with my Brooklyn accent.
How
do I get away with that?
You might not have any.
No, I want to say something. Screw that.
You probably just say maybe say yeehaw.
Yeah.
Yee-hoo!
Yeah, there you go.
You're real tasty.
Yeah, you're real tasty. How's that?
Yes.
You're real tasty.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing I'm going to be playing one of the dead bodies, the victims, I guess, and stuff like that.
I think I'm a victim too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm always victimized. I've been a victim.
But
I have no victim mentality. Believe me, I gave that up a long time ago.
Yeah, you just typecast as one.
Yeah, exactly.
But hopefully, but I'm just.
Thank you, Plastic.
Thank you. I'm just holding on though. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Whoever they have to play for the role, Lou, I'm all for it. But if he did, but like I said, Tower, if he doesn't quite exactly fit the mold for that character physically or vocally or whatever, I'm right here. Just basically just get some good makeup to make me look like a white guy, redneck. I'll be able to play the part.
Was it
Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy did. Although he didn't look like a white guy. I hate to tell you. I hate to disappoint him, but he didn't look like a white guy. Anywhere near it.
Well, I mean,
I think even Dave Chappelle would have done a better job.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I think you could get away with it because you're
mm-hmm.
You sound like a white guy. Let's put it that way. I hate to say it, but that I don't want to use the word like you sound intelligent because that's kind of like typecast. like black people are on the telly.
I got a whole bunch of me right up here in this here shift right there.
There you go.
You
go.
See, there you go.
There's a guy that I know on Facebook that talks just like that. Oh, by the way, Aunt, now that I mentioned it myself and I reminded myself, I have another guy if you need a real redneck. I mean, this guy is about as red as they get.
Okay.
A real redneck. And not only that, he's even got the teeth to prove it.
The teeth.
Terrible.
Wow.
Terrible. Worse than any kind of... Worse than the Brit.
Okay.
You know, people in Britain, they tend to suffer with dental problems.
Yeah.
They all got like gigantic teeth that are all yellow or screwed up. Anyway, this guy's about as bad as get. Sweet ass guy, and he said he'd be willing to do it. And he's got the most southern redneck accent, and he is a redneck. He looks it. I think he would do well. Anyway, just letting you know, in case you need another redneck.
Yeah, I had some extra news. My cousin Todd Wilcher, he's a chiropractor in Atlanta. He wanted to say congratulations to all of his college friends, his female college friends over at celebrating who were part of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. They're celebrating their centennial this year. It was founded in 1913 in Howard University. It's those who know Delta Sigma Theta. Their colors are cream and crimson, well, red and white, whatever. They're historically black African American sorority. They were founded January 13, 1913. According to Wikipedia, going by that, basically, even though it is predominantly African American because it was created at Howard University in Washington, D.C., I mean, basically any female of any ethnicity can join. I mean, regardless of religion, race, or nationality. Matter of fact, there's a sisterhood of more than 300,000 women in the sorority, predominantly African American, black college educated women. It has over 1,000 chapters located in the United States, in the UK, in Japan, both in Tokyo and Okinawa, Germany, the Virgin Islands, Bermuda, Bahamas, and the Republic of Korea. And they have been famous people who have famous women who have been Delta, such as Brigadier General Hazel Johnson Brown, PhD, who was the first African American woman general in the United States Army. The late Shirley Chisholm, who was the first black woman member of U.S. Congress, was the first African American and the first woman to run as a major party candidate for president of the United States. Patricia Robert Harris, she was a Secretary of Housing and Urban Development of HUD. She was also later appointed as Secretary of Health and Human Services, and she was honored by on the 23rd commemorative stand in the United States Postal Service Black Heritage Series. Also, Jewel S. LaFontant, first American woman to be admitted into the International Academy of Trial Lawyers, first female Deputy Solicitor General of the U.S. during the Nixon administration.
There you go. And she was arrested. Anyway, she used to wrestle with those people. That woman was no joke.
Yes.
We're talking about Shirley Chisholm, right?
No, Jewel LaFontaine. But Shirley Chisholm, she
was strong. She was a very strong woman during her day.
Oh, yes.
By the way, going back to this photo with Anthony, the photo was taken in 1992, according to him. And that photo was taken by comic artist Tony Harris. Was he related? Maybe not. For a drawing he did. It was taken at Craig Hamilton and his old boyfriend's house back in the day. I know a little bit about Craig's history because he was one of my roommates at one time. And, of course, today we're not in good standing as friends.
Right.
For his reason, because to me, I love Craig. But he's obviously got more faces than the ones that he's drawn throughout all these years. And as a matter of fact, if you look at this picture of the Statue of Liberty right here, that's Craig Hamilton. Statue of Liberty leaning down. Actually, I'm pointing in the wrong direction, but it's right here. You can see the base of it. But anyway, so great pick, Anthony. It looks pretty cool. If you put that on your pamphlets running for mayor, I'm sure that there'll be a lot of women that would want to have a strong guy like you for mayor. What do we got? We got a bald-headed, portly-looking guy. Who else is running?
We have Jack.
We got a guy and a horse.
See Jack.
Yeah, guy and a horse.
Yeah, cowboy.
Yeah, the cowboy. We
David
got
Casino. I'm cowboy. I'm real McCoy. I'm chocolate all over like an almond joy. More like a coop. That's Grandmaster.
Yeah.
Flash.
Well, who was that? C. Jack Ellis.
C. Jack Ellis.
Yeah. Yeah. Who talks like that? And he talks a good game. And what else? Who else do we have? We have, of course, Joe Allen, Charlie Bishop, who's the bishop of here. But who knows? There you go. There we go. Hey, Derek, time are you driving to Charlotte, and would you want a passenger to share gas? Because Lacey may want to go, but just one way.
Just one way?
Why is that? She leaving you?
Is she gonna like take the bus or a plane or what?